guys, and welcome to a short look at Clue Classic. So this is a pretty good game, it's fairly old, and I'm going to apologise in advance. My screen recorder wouldn't let me record in full screen for some reason, so I have had to window it. So if the resolution isn't the best, guys, I do apologise. This game is fairly old, so you can't really stretch it to a custom size. You just have to limit it to a slightly small box, which is slightly annoying, but I suppose it is live withable, just for a short look at the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new game. So it's going to be a long night, says the detective. So the two-dimension is the scene of the crime. Oh, Inspector Brown, thank goodness you're here. The road is washed out. You'll have to spend the night. So apparently we're all here enjoying the evening. Everyone was in good spirits considering the weather. The storm worsened and knocked out the power. Everything was dark. You couldn't tell what was going on. The next time I saw Mr. Body, he was dead. So now it's our chance to solve the murder. Now, something quite funny is obviously I'm called Potent Plum, and I always have to play as Professor Plum. So if you guys don't know how to play Cluedo, this is basically what this game is based off of. You have to find out who the person was who did the murder. So it is based off of a board game. So I'm of course going to be Professor Plums, and just for simplicity, I'm going to keep both other players on Rookie, and who we're going to play with. I think say Colonel Mustard and I think Miss Scarlet. That seems alright. So I'm going to keep them on Rookie difficulty. And yeah, so I'm just a cadet or whatever. So yeah, so you can add more players, but I think that just for simplicity, just because this is a short look at the game, just so I can sort of show you guys what the deal is, I'm just going to leave it as that. So here you go. So the case file, that's who did it, is going to be locked in the middle. So if you guys don't know how to play the game, it is fairly hard to explain, but if you guys don't know how to play it, you guys can, I guess, pick it up as I'm playing. So I'm going to try and explain the game as I'm going, but yeah. So we've now been... So basically, the cards that you're given are the ones that... like, their information, and once you get those cards, it means that the murder didn't happen in one of those locations. So you have to find the suspect, the weapon, and the room before you can make an accusation. And the aim of the game is to be the one who makes the accusation first. If you do your final accusation and it's wrong, then you are locked out of the game, and then you have lost. So, as you can see, so it's not in the hall, not in the dining room, not in the conservatory, not in the billiard room or the library, and it wasn't with the knife. So it's quite interesting. We haven't had any we haven't had any player cards. We've just had weapons and rooms. So let's roll the dice, and we can either go to the study or the hall. Now we know it's not in the hall, but we don't know it's in the study. So I think early on, I'm just going to go straight to the study, because I want to find out as much as possible. I've no interest in playing bluff. So, but you can make suggestions, and if someone has one of those cards, they have to show me. But if no one has that card, then it makes it quite obvious that it was because no one has the card that was that the murder actually happened with. That is in the middle of the game. That's like in the middle sachet thing. So basically what we need to do now is make a suggestion. So I'm going to suggest Mr. Green with a revolver, because I don't have any of those, and that's hopefully going to draw one up. I think I have played one of these games where that actually was what happened, so no one was able to show me anything, and I was instantly able to make an accusation. So Scarlet has the revolver card, so I'm going to click off this, and I'm going to type an S for Scarlet. The notes are optional, but I just might find it easier to then know who has what card, which is useful for future referencing. So Miss Scarlet's just going to do nothing, and now it's the turn of Colonel Mustard. This is what I mean about having more players, though, is it means you have to watch through more of this. So to make it easier, yeah. Now, certain rooms do have secret passages in them, so I'm going to go to the kitchen, And I've not got the kitchen as a card, so this will be quite interesting. I'm thinking I'll find the room out first before anything, considering I started with the most room cards. So let's suggest, say, Colonel Mustard with a rope. So Scarlet has nothing to show, and he has the rope card. So in this instance, so Scarlet doesn't... So from this we can deduce Scarlet doesn't have either the kitchen, Colonel Mustard, or the rope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an X next to it and put M for Mustard. But because Scarlet doesn't have it, I'm going to place a question mark next to the kitchen and a question mark next to Colonel Mustard. It is possible Colonel Mustard does have the card, and if he does, then I will have to then cross it off again. For now, I'm going to leave those as question marks, so I at least know that there is a possibility it could be one of those. So Scarlet's now going to the dining room. And what's she going to suggest? She's going to suggest it herself with the knife. I have the knife card, which is quite interesting. So I believe if you're playing around the board, you have to give it. It's the person to your left, I believe. So he's shown a card to Miss Scarlet. So he could have either shown her the Miss Scarlet card. He can't have shown her the knife card because I have it. And he can't have shown her the dining room. So Mustard must have the Scarlet card. And that is the aim of the game. It's sort of the powers of deduction. So because I have the knife in the dining room card, it means that he must have shown her the Scarlet card. So it definitely isn't Miss Scarlet. And yeah, that is basically the aim of the game, is to work out through the powers of deduction who did the murder, with what weapon, and in what room. Now, I could get back to the study, I guess, but is it worth it? I think I'm going to roll the dice where I am, actually. Let's see. So can I go to any room? No, I can't go to any of the rooms. That's a bit of a bummer, but okay. So I'm gonna go to here. So you don't have to go to a room which roll the dice. Sometimes you do get a bit unfortunate and get some low numbers, and you're just walking around all the time. So these guys seem to be having the same problem as me by getting low numbers, but it's probably because they are on rookie difficulty. So he's going to go to the dining room, and I have that card, which is quite interesting. So he's going to suggest Miss Peacock, or Mrs. Peacock with a wrench. I don't believe I have Miss Peacock or the wrench. Let's see, do I have the wrench card? No, I don't have the wrench card, so I have to show him the dining room, because it's the only card I can show him. Let's see, so let's roll the dice, and let's go... Can I go to... Is it worth going to the ballroom? Yes, it is. Since I do not have the ballroom card. So let's just do another blind one. Let's see. Mrs. White with the lead pipe. So Scarlet has nothing, and so Colonel Mustard has the Miss White card. So I'll put M for Mustard. This is also helpful to, like, if you're actually playing like the actual board game. Obviously you can't really add notes, but like you can in the digital version. But you can obviously sort of like check if someone's bluffing, because you can sort of work out who has what. So if someone starts to make a bluff, then it does make it quite obvious, especially if you're doing this notation that I'm doing. So we suggest it. He seems to be very interested with Miss Peacock and the wrench. I'm trying to question if he's bluffing here. I've got no card, and she has shown a card, which could have either been the wrench. So it's probably Miss Peacock, most likely. So I'm not going to make any accusations there. There's nothing I can physically write down from that. Let's see, did I say whether it wasn't the kitchen? It possibly is the kitchen, actually. So to test if it is the kitchen, I don't have any player cards, which means that it is very hard to just hone in on one thing. So I am at a disadvantage here. If I really wanted to find out if it was the kitchen, I'd suggest the knife with the player that I've got. So then they would have to show me either a room card. I don't have that luxury, so I'm just going to go for Mr. Green with Candlestick. And see where that turns up. So Scarlet has the Candlestick. And just like that, I am one away from finding out the weapon. But unfortunately, once this game gradually progresses, it will get harder, just on the fact that I don't have any suspects. So, Mr. Green, the knife in the library. So it's possible he has a Mr. Green card. Library, I have that card and the knife, so Mr. Green must be owned by Mustard. So other players do definitely help here. It is quite interesting. So we're just going to use the secret passage to the conservatory. He's going to suggest Professor Plum with a revolver. Why would I do anything? He's suggesting me. And all I have is conservatory cards, so let's see. So I can make a suggestion in the conservatory. Now, I do have the conservatory card, and it might be an interesting idea. So I can make a suggestion where I am. And I'm going to suggest the knife, and the problem is I can't actually suggest a person. Well, I suppose I could suggest a person. Okay, I'll suggest her and the lead pipe. And I'll see what turns up. Though I do have the conservatory, so bear that in mind. So, Miss Peacock definitely isn't her, because Scarlet has Miss Peacock. Let's see, so let's end the turn. So it's either now Colonel Mustard, or it's Professor, or it is me. I really hope it isn't. I really haven't played one of these games where it is Professor Plum. It does seem to be the oddity. It never really seems to be him. But about that point it's going to be proved wrong, and I bet it's going to be me. So he's going to suggest me. I think he's under the same idea that I'm on to, that it's me. So me in the lounge with a revolver. I have no card, and she's shown a card, so she can't have shown... I suppose it's possibly the revolver, considering she does have it, so I can't really deduce anything from that. Now I can make a suggestion where I am in the lounge. In fact, I am actually going to make a suggestion, so I'm going to go for Colonel Mustard, the pipe. Because I'm just trying to find ones out at the minute. I'm not trying to sort of hone in on one thing. So it's not the lounge, okay, that's good to know. I mean, they can sort of show you repeat cards, so bear that in mind. Like, that's the only problem with the fact that I have no player cards, so I can't sort of play bluff with players at least. So it's going to be considerably harder for me to find out the other things, just for the pure fact I can't play bluff with the other two things. So I think he's onto the same idea that it's me, or it's quite possible he just doesn't want it to be himself. So I can show a card, and I've got the dining room card. It's my turn again, so I keep getting moved, which is a bit annoying. So I'm going to make the suggestion where I am, just because I want to find out. Okay, so I'm going to do Colonel Mustard again, with the wrench. So she has the wrench card. So from that, once you hear the murder weapon though, it does mean that you can sort of play it bluff. So say I find out what player it is, then I can use the player who the murderer is, because no one has that card, so it means you can then use that to play bluff. But if you have no actual player cards, it does mean that until you find out who the player is, it does make it very hard to actually play bluff, if you're not given one of the set cards. So let's see, so we have deduced now that it is the lead pipe, which is the murder weapon. So she wants the knife with Miss White in the library. I think Miss Scarlet no, Mustard has Miss White. Okay, so there's nothing we can really deduce from that. He's probably showing her the Miss White card. Okay, so it's Colonel Mustard's turn, and he's going to the lounge. So he thinks it was me and a wrench. Definitely wasn't the wrench, because Miss Scarlet has the wrench card. Okay, so I've got no cards. And okay, she's shown a card, which I assume is the wrench. Okay, so I can make a suggestion in the lounge, maybe? Okay. So I know I have this, so I can fairly easily deduce who it is. So if I do this and this, there should hopefully mean I can deduce who it is. So, oh, she has the lounge card. Oh, I thought I had the lounge. Oh, I've just wasted a turn. See, that is definitely when games don't go your way. Slight mistake, but I suppose it can be corrected. I can go to the dining room fairly easily, though. Hopefully, if he suggests a good combination, he might do my work for me. We don't know, though. So he's suggesting me and the knife. Yeah, so he's really trying to figure out who it is, I think. So I can show him the dining room card. So I'm already in the dining room, so I can just roll the dice where I am. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, that's annoying. But I could go to the kitchen actually. I could try and figure out who it is by going to the kitchen. Okay. So let's suggest mustard with the knife. So this is where you start playing bluff a bit if you use cards that you know you have. Okay, so he has the kitchen card. Okay, so I'll put M down. Okay, so I can't go to the kitchen anymore, so it's either the ballroom or the study. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be in the ballroom, to be honest, but... So Colonel Mustard with a rope. So he is shown a card, and so who has the billiard room? So the billiard room, I have the billiard room. Oh, he has the rope card, okay. That makes sense. I was moved to the billiard room, and he's going to make a suggestion in the billiard room. He's going to suggest me with the knife. So I'm not going to give him I'm not going to let him know who it is, so I'm just going to give him the billiard room. So I'm now in the billiard room, so I can make a suggestion while I'm in the billiard room. I want to figure out who did it, which would make my finding the room problem a lot easier. So mustard with the knife. So if no one has mustard, then it must be him. Yep, it's mustard. I don't know who has plum, so I'm just going to leave that crossed off though, because we know it is Colonel Mustard. So I can go to the ballroom, and after I've been to the ballroom, or the study, either one will do, I've basically won the game. I think in the traditional game, you do sort of, once you know who it is, you have to go to the middle of the map to be able to do it. But I believe in this, you can just sort of say it on the spot. You can make your accusation on the spot. Let's see, so I can show him the library card. And am I in the, so I'm in the library. Okay, that's not really much good. Okay, can I go to the study? Yes. So hopefully this should be my final turn. So what I can now do is suggest, I know it's Colonel Mustard with the lead pipe. And if anyone has the study card, okay, he has the study card. So I'll just put a big M. And through deduction, I know now it's the ballroom. So I can click OK, and click Make Accusation. So, mustard with study with lead pipe. Ooh, so we have made an incorrect accusation there. So by the looks of it, we have now kind of lost the game, which is slightly unfortunate. I believe in traditional Cluedo, I would have completely lost the game.